So Instagram just launched Threads, their version of Twitter, which, in their own words, aims to provide a more personal and intimate communication experience than Instagram. Now, this makes sense as Instagram was first created as a photo sharing platform with a focus on photos. It was never meant to be a text-heavy platform, which is why for Meta, it was a perfect complement to Facebook. Now, as Facebook matured and our attention spans as social media users became shorter, Facebook lost market share to apps like Snapchat and Twitter. Now, this has left a bit of a gap in Meta's portfolio of companies for this type of text usage. So what is Threads? Well, Threads is a messaging app where users can engage in text-based conversations similar to Twitter, posting text and interacting with users within your own network. As of recording, this is through the initial release, so there's no hashtag functionality yet, but you can definitely input text, upload videos and images. Now, this app does seamlessly integrate with Instagram, as it was just a few clicks before my Instagram profile was imported into Threads. So from that standpoint, Instagram users can quickly get set up and running with Threads. Now, overall, the app offers features such as direct messaging, trending topics, and a search function that seems a little bit more intuitive than the Instagram search. Just like IG though, the app does allow users to follow and be followed by other users on other platforms, which enhances the potential for new connections and interactions. Now, with the limited research I was able to conduct for this video, it's clear that Threads wants to focus on users building personal conversations and communicating with their audience. So with a user base of over 2 billion on Instagram, it's probably no surprise that the initial launch of Threads has already garnered over 30 million and more downloads. So as of editing this video, user downloads has surpassed over 100 million. So it's very clear that a lot of the Instagram users are moving over to Thread or setting up a Threads account. We'll see how much higher this can go, but wouldn't be surprised if it gets into the 500 million downloads probably by the end of the month. Anyways, back to the video. Now, scrolling through my initial thread, I can tell that some of the larger brands and influencer accounts had early access, and they've already been posting quite a bit of content for some while now. What's interesting actually is more the development timeline of Threads. Multiple sources have indicated that Threads was actually derived from Instagram Notes feature. It was a feature that they wanted to provide to give users on Instagram a personal space to share updates as short posts with certain people who can then reply as messages on Instagram. Now, apparently during the brainstorming session back in November 2022, the development team brainstormed about building a separate text-focused app based on Instagram Notes. Development for Threads began on January of this year, codenamed P92, and it wasn't until June of this year when Chris Cox, Meta's platform chief product officer, confirmed in an interview with The Verge that Project 92 was indeed the company's response to Twitter. But it's crazy to think that the full-on rollout and development of Threads itself spawned during the last 6 months. Now, to be honest, I think the executives at Meta probably saw the frustrations that some users on Twitter were experiencing and decided that this would be a good time to launch a competing platform. Which leads me to my next point, which is Threads going to be a Twitter killer? I'm going to guess probably not. Just like how Facebook hasn't died yet with a plethora of competing platforms and choices for users, I feel that at this point, a lot of these new apps are created based on a segment of users that feel upset or disengaged with a prior platform. So Twitter will still have lots of its loyal users, and Threads will develop its own loyal users or get users who are dissatisfied with Twitter. Now, while the intent of Threads is to mimic Twitter, I would say that the feel and usage is actually quite different. Thread obviously mimics much of how you post on Instagram, and so far I feel that it's just a reworked version of Instagram rather than a complete replacement for Twitter. What I will say, however, is that Twitter's recent throttling of its network resources has definitely raised concerns about its ability to handle added user demand and maintain a reliable platform. Whereas with the resources of Meta behind Threads can probably pursue growth without worrying about some of these throttling issues. And based from what I can gather from press releases and various threads and tweets, the app is probably prioritizing user engagement and interaction, and we should be seeing new features being rolled out over the next few months. Now, finally, for those of you who do want to take the plunge, here are some steps you can take. First off, anyone who's under 16 or 18 in certain countries will be defaulted to the private profile when you first join. So those posts won't be featured to the public, and you'd have to make your account public before your posts are seen by others who are not following you. So to start off, you'll want to search for the Threads app in your device's app store and download it. Once downloaded, launch the app and sign in using your Instagram account credentials. Now this is a bit of annoyance for me, especially with the Meta Business Suite, and it's confusing and often convoluted the way to getting your profile details or deleting or adding things. But either way, adding Threads using your IG account was actually pretty straightforward. Now next you want to set up your profile unless you imported it directly from IG, which in that case there isn't much you need to get started. Make sure to be clear in your profile about what your account is about so you can engage with the right audience. Finally, you'll have the engagement portion that all these apps love, which means following people and creating your first post. If you add an image or video to a post, there's an attachment icon. Just click on that and it will access your camera folder on your device. Threads allows you to post up to 500 characters long and include links as well. Videos can be up to 5 minutes in length. In terms of promotion, you'll be able to share your Threads post to your Instagram story and share links to your Threads account on other platforms you might use. So that's about it for this video. I'm sure there will be a lot more features to talk about in the coming months as Threads begins its journey to gain attention share from users across the globe. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you get notified every time we upload a new content. Also, leave your comments below about what you think about the Threads app and have you used it and what are things that you like or don't like about that. Take care, we'll catch you in the next video.